So let's start. Today we will discuss language as a social factor. The topic language as a social factor. Language is a social factor. What do you think about it? Is language a social factor? Yes. Is language a social factor? Yes. Is language a social factor?
Yes, sir. Language is social factor.
How? How?
Sir,
Language is
we
a
are connected
yes.
to our society with the language.
What we do? Can you repeat? Yes.
So
Subha?
we are connected to our society with the language.
Yes, we are connected, but the question is that
Sir, different community has a different languages, sir.
yes, Firdaus, what you're saying?
Different communities have a different types of languages, and that's why they are also different.
Different communities had different types of languages. Yes, you're right, and Ubaid is also right that we are connected with our fellow society members through the language. Language is a medium of communication. Yes, if we are not communicating, then there is no society. If we are not interacting, so language is a means of communicating and interacting. Okay, but the question here is the foremost question here is: does language affect society? Or society affects language? Is there? Does you can see the word? Does language affect society? Or society affects language? Yes, both are right, or any one is right, or both are wrong. Yes, if that there is a question, both are right, both are right. Language affects society. One is right, or none of these is right. If that is the thing, what you will say? Yes, what you will say? Does language affect society? Yes, or there is effect of society and language? Yes. Yes. Anyone? Yes, Ubaid. क्या सोसाइटी लैंग्वेज को अफेक्ट करती है, या सोसाइटी या कल्चर ऑफ द सोसाइटी, और लैंग्वेज कहीं लैंग्वेज में दिखता है? ओके, लेट्स स्टार्ट विद हाउ वी learn language. How we learn language? How a child learn language? Any language, be it Hindi, be it English, be it
Yes, sir. By listening to their parents. And sir, yes, सर लैंग्वेज जो है सर सोसाइटी को करती है, और कभी कभी देखा जाता है बहुत सारे सोसाइटी में कुछ हद तक लैंग्वेज को एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया जाता। मतलब कि कुछ अलग वे से हम डायलेक्ट बोले तो उसे अच्छा नहीं समझा जाता।
yes,
तो कहीं ना कहीं सोसाइटी अफेक्ट करती है।
come to the dialect also, but the question is how the child learn language. What the basic vocabulary, basic methodology. Yes.
By listening to others, by listening to their
Listening
parents.
to the parents. So does he or she learn grammar also that way? What he learns from our parents and other people to whom he or she in contact with. Yes. Yes.
सर स्पीकिंग जो है वो अपने पेरेंट्स से सीखता है चाइल्ड, और जो ग्रामर है वो कहीं ना कहीं टीचिंग से कह सकते हैं सर।
Grammar, if he is not taught grammar, then yes, yes, as I understand you saying that he learns speaking from the parents and other people, and grammar from school.
बट सर सम एक्सटेंट में ग्रामर भी हम सीख जाते हैं लैंग्वेज के साथ साथ, था,
Yes.
थी।
How?
Sir, by listening to them, the way they talk, like if they are talking about the past, then they using different kind of same language but different kind of words. So we get the idea.
Yes, yes, yes. You know, there is an interesting theory. There is an interesting theory. Have you heard Noam Chomsky?
Yes, sir, he's a father of linguistics.
Yes, he's a very prominent linguistic scientist. He says that there is a universal theory of Noam Chomsky. He says that, and that theory is interestingly called universal language theory. Universal language learning, universal. He says that the child has an inherent learning of grammar. There is a learning device in his head. There is a learning device in his head, and he learns vocabulary. What he learns from the parents is the vocabulary. Vocabulary. What he learns, क्या सीखता है वो parents से? That is vocabulary. Do you agree with that or not? Yes.
Yes, sir.
नोम चॉम्स्की साहब क्या कह रहे हैं कि ग्रामर तो इनहेरेंटली वो सीख लेता है. Yes.
Yes, sir. I
And
agree.
what he learns from his parents, he learns vocabulary from them. There is a theory, and it is widely accepted. If not totally, it is widely accepted. The language scientists accept at least a part of it. Example is given that no child says that if he has to ask for water, मुझे पानी दे दो. But he always says मुझे पानी दे दो. He doesn't say that पानी मुझे or some types of other order. Sometimes we wonder how he picks up the language very fast, that fast. Yes. So that is the theory. It was believed that he learns language and grammar from the parents. So Noam Chomsky says that we have an inherent capability, child has an inherent capability to learn the language. Right? So, okay, that is the theory. Whether you accept Noam's theory or not, there are other things which connect the people to the society. Sometimes the child use the word hum in Hindi. हम खाना खा रहे हैं, isn't it? To start with हम खाना खा रहे हैं, by listening, after some time he drops the hum and he says मैं खाना खा रहा हूँ, I. That is the influence of the parents. People, the parents speak in this language, so, and it is also related, sometimes it is related in the, sorry, sometimes it is related in with the place of the place in the society. Have you heard the word that princes and kings say hum ma badolat? Have you heard the word?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
They are higher up in the hierarchy, so they say that hum ya ma badolat, isn't it? If you from your society you have seen that the people your father downgrades to your mother or women folk, then you will pick up the tone, you will pick up the words. Yes, isn't it? And then there are two terms, accent and dialect. What is accent? Can anyone tell me? Yes.
Sir, accent, sir. A true speaker of that language speak the way speaker speaks, the native speaker speak the language.
Yes, the
Basic-
accent. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Can you give any example of accent? Yes.
So
Like,
accent
sir, Britain English use car, and in American accent we speak car, and in car.
That is the
Are-
pronunciation. Accent is the
Yeah,
way the way your tongue moves. That is accent. Right? The way you yes, you're partly right. The way your tongue moves is accent. So what it tells, if someone is speaking in a particular accent, south accent, north accent, west accent, east accent, then what it tells us? What it tells us?
Sir, we can recognize that which area he belong.
Yes, region. Region, the accent pertains to the region. And what is the dialect? Dialect is? What is dialect?
Sir, dialect is a different from the same language, but the language is same, sir. But the way is different.
The way is
So
different and
express-
something other also different. Suppose there is a Awadhi dialect of Hindi. There is a Deccan dialect of Urdu. There is a Braj dialect of Hindi. So what is changed here? The way we
Sir,
yes.
Yes, sir. It's a sir regional variety, sir. In the change, we see the change in pronunciation, also in some grammatical aspect, and also change in, sir, the way they speak.
Yeah, the way and something other also changes in the dialect.
expression.
Some words.
Yes, sir.
Words are changed.
Pronunciation and vocab changes.
Yes,
Yeah.
vocabulary also changes. So what is the difference between accent and dialect? In accent, words are same. Words don't change. Only the way you speak is changed. And in dialect, sometimes words are also changed and the way of expressions also change. And it also sometimes pertains to region. From where you're coming, you can tell from the way she speaks, that from which region he is. Yes, and the language in India, you can easily tell that from where the people, the origin of the people is, the origin of a person is. Like if he is a Bengali, his first language is Bengali. He will speak in office and in public, maybe if he is living in Aligarh, he will speak in English, Khadi Boli, but at home he will use Bengali. There is a very interesting thing. Suppose the parents are in a transferable job, nationwide transferable job. He was born and got the job in North India. Suppose, and the children are very small. Suppose he got transferred to Bengal. Then the child will pick up the Bengali language. Now the child knows the Bengali, but parents don't. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is a very, and some expressions, some words are there, and we speak different languages at offices and at our homes. We use different languages depending on the group we are in. We speak different language, different type of words we use, and a different. And one thing here is tone. What is tone? Yes, what is tone? Yes, what is tone? Yes. Yes. What is tone? Tone is. Yes, what is tone?
Sir, quality of a sound, or basically
Quality
how we are
and
speaking.
quality and yes. Suppose I am saying in an angry voice to my child, eat. That is a command, and I am saying in a very pleasing manner, eat. Then it is a request, or it is love associated with that. The tone also impacts the meaning of the language. A big chunk of meaning of your sentence comes from tone. So tone, dialect, and sometimes tone is dialect and accent. These are very important elements. Sometimes tone is telling what type of person you are and to whom you are talking. If you are talking to your subordinate, your tone changes. If you are angry, depends on who you are talking to and what your mood is. Tone changes and the meaning changes. And some expressions are particular to, like in Aligarh, what expression you use very frequently? Yes. What expression?
Handshaking.
Yes. Like what words you frequently use in Aligarh in a student community? Yes. I think there is one word boss. Yeah, there is one word partner we use, isn't it? And child in any school picks up the word yar. It is used in many ways. Yar in a friendly way, yar in a wonder, array yar, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And he will use it, he will start using it at home also, but he will not use it in classroom in front of the teacher, isn't it? So
Yes,
the
sir.
Yes, sir.
so the culture affect your language. If you belong to an educated class, your language will be different. If you belong to an illiterate class, your language will be different. So it affects the language and to whom you are talking. The person to person, which of the person, the relationship which this person, suppose it is you and you speaking to a person, what is your relationship with this person? You are very close to him or her or not. Your hierarchy of the person, the place of the person in the society, your mood, your standing or circumstances. So culture and society affects the language. And so the language works as a social factor in many ways.